Turf Business TV are now joined by a familiar face, Campey's company ambassador, Poggy. Mr. Ambassador, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
Campey's got a history of bringing innovations to the market, and I think the latest one is really interesting. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's called Traqnology. It's a GPS receiver that enables an operator to take his hands away, knowing that the line is going to be absolutely straight. Now, when you talk marking about a soccer pitch, rugby, an athletics track, they spend hours marking it out. With this machine, it has an antenna on the top of the roll bar which receives signals from anything up to 20 satellites. This is not only a British satellite or the European satellite, Galileo, but the Americans and the Russians as well. It receives multi-million messages in a minute to transfer the data down onto the ground. It runs off a common iPad, which has the capacity of storing up to 2 million field pictures. So initially, when you get out into a field, you have to go through the motions of driving around the area, and at each point, it registers. And you press the button, and that is stored in its memory. You select what type of pitch you want marking out, the width and the length of the pitch, and that memory is stored as well. And then when you approach the area to be marked out, within 10 metres in length and 2 metres in width, it selects the point at which it lowers the paint marker onto the ground, and the operator can take his hands off. When it gets to the other end, the operator will turn it, and again within 10 metres in length and 2 metres in width, the probe will go down, pick up the point, and the probe will go down, and you get a straight line. It'll do the centre circles, it'll do the corner flags, it'll do the hoop at the top of the penalty area on a soccer pitch, it will do the broken lines on rugby pitches, and you can set the parameters for the posts, again the width and the length of the field. It's very clever. As the Danes that told us that always the operators are able to physically walk or drive in a straight line, they need to spend a lot of time marking out. This eliminates all that. An experienced operator can mark out a pitch, whether it's soccer or rugby, inside a quarter of an hour. It is very quick, and you know, there's so much magic in this thing. Again, it's like the old track, silent mower, the silent revolution. There's so many gizmos and tricks in it that just a bit beyond our comprehension. One of the things a lot of people wanted to know what's happening with the satellites. If there's a conflict somewhere in the world, they get diverted. But there are so many up there now, and they're receiving signals from so many different countries' satellites, that that's not going to be a problem in the future.
So, Poggy, really, it's not about removing the operator from the process. It's about making them more accurate, more efficient, and getting more done in less time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, with a local authority, they probably contract it out, and they're working to a fixed time scale. How many times have you been to a local authority pitch and seen wobbly lines all over the place? There isn't going to be. There's one other thing with this technology. It's transferable to other machines. It'll work with mowers, it'll work with sprayers, it'll work on a self-propelled rotary or cylinder mower. You can take this in a quarter of an hour, take all this equipment off and fit it onto another machine.
So you basically buy one piece of kit and you can fit it to any other piece of kit? It doesn't have to be particular manufacturers?
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's a universal fit, basically.
It's not like one of the custom-built ones that you get on a tractor or a mower that is actually fitted to that machine. This is transferable. Klaus tells me he can do it in inside quarter of an hour. And it'll probably take me longer than that.
In terms of being in the market, is it now on sale, or is it coming to?
It's now on sale. We've got one operating somewhere at this moment in time. These things are constantly updated. Once you bought the package, if there are any more developments, then it can be transferred very easily onto this system. And one of the other things is that little iPad back there is the same as I have in my briefcase, and it's got all this information stored in there. It will get pressure washed at some point, but all that information stores on the cloud. You just go down to Curry's or wherever, pick up a new iPad, put it on there, download all the info, and you've still got your 2 million pictures stored in there. How many more you could have?
Got 2 million pictures to mark out.
But it's the facility to be able to do it that's a bit outstanding for me, anyway.